Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be on this dark and stormy night. At least it is here. Welcome to the Drinks and Dave Show. I'm the old Dave. That's the Dave that wishes he was here. How's it going, Dave?
Well, hey, who changed my title? Dang it!
I did. It was not me. It was not me. So how's it going? How you doing this? How was your week last week and all that kind of good, happy crap?
You know, last week was stressful as heck because we're leaving on vacation, and
so it should be a happy time.
This week is because I've reached that vacation mode where it's like whatever happens, happens. But last week it was full of. I'm taking almost 3 weeks off. I don't think I've ever done that in my life, actually.
Wow!
And it's getting everything set and hoping that it runs smoothly while you're gone, kind of a stress. But now. Wow. It's good. And look at the barflies today.
Yeah, we've got 5, and nobody's gone to the bathroom when it's dropped off, which is kind of good. So let's do our normal thing real quick before we get to PD.
Why are we being compared to Gomer Pyle? That's what I want to know. And which one of us?
Shazam!
It's you. But much respect. I want to hang out with B. Pete. He's always drinking some good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and apparently Tig Lily is a little snarky today. A countdown. Fool me once.
Yeah.
Time to grab a. Oh, that's what it is. Tig Lily needs a.
And she needs to get your drink on.
Get the drink on. And then of course Matt's here. Welcome, Matt. And have to grab a drink to watch these jokers. Okay. So speaking of drink, what is on the docket for you today?
So I don't know that you've ever heard of this one because I got it a long time ago and didn't like it. But it's warmish here, and I didn't want to do. What's the warm? I didn't say hotter than hell. I said warmish. So tell everybody what's the magical drink that we found for when it's hot out. First of all.
Oh. So it is a gin, your choice of gin, but we'll go into that. A gin followed by and with lots of ice and stevia grapefruit citrus. It is fantastic. Now today I went one step further and I am drinking Hendrick's Orbium. Now this is a limited edition and it's got wormwood, quinine, lotus blossom, and it's from Scotland. So it's got to be good.
Quinine, that's what you take for malaria, right? I mean,
right. So I am malaria free, and it's in most tonic water.
Yeah,
exactly. So this is a gin, 2 ounces of gin, then lots of ice, 2 ounces of gin, a splash of the Zevia, which is 0 calories, so it's healthy, and then a little bit of lime juice. Stir it up and enjoy it with your favorite cigar. Now today is a sad day. I am enjoying my last Corona, or Churchill rather, of the Nat Sherman, rest in peace.
Beautiful. And this one, pipe down, Tig Lily, just pipe down. It was 81 degrees when I got home from work, so it's warmish. What I'm drinking, you've heard of Compass Box. Yeah, they're blenders of Scotch whiskey, and this one is, or I don't know, or orange something or other. It's a weird one. I got it when I saw it. I've never seen it since. And it does have an orange. I think it's got some artificial flavor in it. But I wanted to do Scotch. And this seemed like a warm weather Scotch because it's very citrusy. So it's very unusual.
Is it good?
It's good for this. Like I said, I still have it from forever ago because it's a little odd. And it's mostly full. And then Oliva G.
Oh, speaking of, and this is not a paid promotion, but cigarpage.com has got a 15-pack of Olivas on sale for stupid money.
What's weird with Cigar Page is while I know technically by law I think you have to sign for any tobacco or alcohol deliveries, they are the only ones that require it. And I get an email saying that don't forget it's required, and a phone call from them saying don't forget it's required.
See, we don't get that here. They just throw it in the mailbox and drive away.
Yeah, I wish. And so if you're at work, that just sits on there. So,
so wait a minute. We have a question. Wormwood is absinthe. Well, it is absinthe. Yes, it's got a little bit of absinthe in it, and so yes, wormwood is for vampires.
Major Rich.
Oh,
welcome. So The
Well, wait a
one thing
minute.
I wanted to
Wait a minute. Did we welcome Major Rich in the right way? We need to do that.
I just did that.
It didn't happen.
Yeah,
It
you
didn't
didn't.
happen.
I heard it.
Okay, we need to do it again. Thank you. That's
Did you?
better.
All right.
Okay,
Thanks.
now we're better. So
But for just for crying out loud, oh, Absinthe, he can't talk. So I had one thing I wanted to bring up before we got to today's topic, yeah, because it's been on my mind, and this is an odd thing to be on my mind, but I wanted to because I haven't been able to share it.
okay.
And so on the cadre, it was brought up the things we should teach our sons, right? And people were listing things to teach their sons. And one of the things that one person listed was
Hi, Bruce.
sit down when you pee in public
Oh,
or
God, here we go.
as a guest, right? And I think that person got a little bit jumped on because I think like it's the manly man thing to stand up or go in the woods and all this stuff. But I supported him because one thing I think, this is serious, Dave. Don't laugh.
I'm laughing with you. I'm not
All right.
laughing at you.
Oh,
I'm laughing
I'm not laughing,
with
Dave.
you.
Serious.
With you.
Because first of all, I figure who's in such a rush? You can't sit down and relax for 20 seconds, right?
Okay.
So
Can I? Okay. I want to take each point individually. And those of you in our lounge, the Barflies, we definitely want your opinions on should a man sit down when they pee or stand up when they pee. Now, here's my argument with that. If you sit on one of the newer latrine toilets, one of the toilets that has a higher than not level, then when you sit down and you pee, the next thing that happens is you have a reverse urinary rainstorm up onto your tush. It's called splashage.
Oh, splashback?
Splashback. Exactly.
So if you don't have that is the urinals. Boy, those things will just hose down your legs.
No, that's all about angle. Right. That's all about angle and depth. But that's a whole nother thing. But the thing is, wait. Let me finish this one statement because the thing is, the splashback only will work is if you have a bidet, and that's a whole nother show. Should a man use a bidet? Now we have arguments pro and con, but that's for another show.
Another show, right?
Okay, so continue.
So, but here's where it really struck home for me. Other than the whole everybody can just relax. The whole like if you put the seat up and leave it there, you're forcing somebody else to touch your toilet seat and put it down, right? That's not Dave. Pay attention, Dave.
Sorry. I just had to. That was beautiful.
But here's the most important one: is when you are in a more public setting, sometimes there's times where you have to do things that require you to sit down. Right?
I agree.
And if the floor is wet around the toilet because of morons that stand up and miss or splatter around, then you're forced with this, I got to sit down and you put your pants down somewhat, but then the floor is wet. So you're paranoid the entire time that you're going to get whatever that is on your pants. And I'm just saying if everybody sat down, that wouldn't happen.
Okay, so here is a counterpoint to that argument. So if you walk into a restroom, wherever it may be, and it could be a classy joint or it could be a bar, whatever, and you walk in and that floor is wet, there's this thing called an about face. You about face, you exit the building, you find a very tall bush, and you go there. Because you know what? What's on that floor wet, as a medical person, there could be things on there. But I want to bring up a story that happened to a friend of mine. Okay, speaking of when you need to sit down. But what you also have to realize is when you're spending time at a friend's house, or people that you know, and let's say you have to do el número dos, number 2, okay? I will
which is against social rules.
Exactly. I would get in the car and say, I need to go get some cigars, and I will find a bathroom en route. But if it gets really bad, like if you've had Taco Bell for lunch and something's been bad, a friend of mine who is a police officer, we will not mention his name, he had to go really, 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 really bad. So he runs into a CVS pharmacy. Okay. And he goes, do you have a restroom? Yes, sir. It's right over here. Well, what he did not realize at the time was that the CVS pharmacy bathroom backed up to the partition wall of the pharmacy itself. Now, needless to say, when things started to occur, everybody in the pharmacy, including people that were waiting for their prescriptions, kind of heard it. And when he came out, he literally got applause.
He put on a show.
There is nothing worse than that. Or unfortunately, if you get to that point and you're in the middle of nowhere, like 400 miles from any, then unfortunately, sometimes you have to drop trow next to a
That's
mesquite
not.
tree.
Yeah, that's
You know,
that's
so.
bad time.
Okay, so is that your social media upsetness for the
No,
day?
no, no,
Oh,
no,
there's
no,
more.
no.
Okay.
And the social media thing we'll cover later on. I've just been thinking about that since I saw it posted, and then run into the circumstance sometimes. You know, if you're in an airport, if you're at work, you can't run outside in peanut bush. Anyway, let's get
You know what I'm thinking. Okay, so tonight, and before we're going to mention this once before, but the Drinks and Dave show will be going on hiatus for a period of a couple of weeks as somebody is going on vacation, and so our next show, mark it in your calendars, is going to be August 7th at 6 p.m. Now, I really should say it will begin at 6:05 because that's more reasonable. That way, Tig Lily doesn't get all upset.
She's a
Now,
sensitive.
before we get started on our topic for tonight, which is next door, and I'll go into that in a minute, we would like to put the barflies to work. But if we put you to work, you get something for it. So all the barflies that are here, as you know, we're trying to get the Drinks and Dave's channel on YouTube to 100 subscribers. Once we get to 100 subscribers, we can take the live shows from our shaving channels and consolidate them so the live show will only be on Drinks and Dave. So here is the challenge for our barflies. If you can get us 5 subscribers each, 5 subscribers, if you can get 5 subscribers, you will receive, in your choice of colors, the official Drinks and Dave's t-shirt.
Woo! I can't wait to win that, Dave.
So we need to get 5 subscribers, and of course on the back it does say.
Wait, how are you going to know they got you 5 subscribers?
Well, they have to tell us who the person is.
Okay, all right.
And they have to be somewhat around. And you'll have to pardon me a second. I pulled the pin on our
Grenade?
fire extinguisher. Give me a minute.
Oh, wow, that would be fun. Or if you got a rolly chair, Dave, if you just pull that handle, I bet you'd shoot across the room.
Yeah, and I was warned that this was going to happen today. Anyways, so again, get us 5 subscribers each. Tell us who they are. And you figure if everybody in here gets 5 subscribers, that's 8 times, that's 40. That'll only put us 20 away. So if you get us 6 or 7, tell you what, if you get us 10 each, I will throw in, well, of course, I will throw in a coffee mug, a Drinks and Dave's coffee mug.
There you go.
Now, here's the disclaimer. Members of Drinks and Dave's Incorporated are not eligible for this prize.
Son of a... I can't win a piff for nothing, Dave.
You know what? You and I talk back and forth. This is episode number 8, and we're so happy that it's episode number 8. But you know what? I'm wondering that, it would be probably a good idea to invite a mystery guest. What do you think? Oh, hey,
wait.
There's somebody here.
Let me get the door, Dave.
Okay, get the door.
Steven!
Steve, wow, look who's here. Welcome.
Hello there.
Awesome.
The likeness of Obi-Wan Kenobi or Ewan McGregor is copywritten by Lucasfilms Incorporated and Disney. Thank you.
I obviously don't claim to look anything like Ewan McGregor or Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well, wait, let me have another drink in your mind. We'll get there. We'll get
so
there.
we know that you do not smoke. So what are you drinking today?
In honor of Chad, I decided to get something canned that's a beverage, very light. It is 12.5% though, so it's actually pretty good.
Oh.
Nice. And I see that you're sporting your Drinks and Dave's Barfly t-shirt. Look at that.
Yes, I am.
See, everybody, you can get them. And right now, they're only available on Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home. But make sure, or you can go to bonfire.com and get them as well.
Yeah.
So
Wait, before you bring up because not everybody maybe is from the cadre. It says Stephen and Hasey something.
Hasey.
Explain what that is to everybody.
It's actually the initials, however you spell it. It was something from high school that I had a friend that's all she would ever write whenever she'd spell things wrong, which was a lot of the page. So eventually I just started using that as my my screen name, and I've had it now for 30 years.
Right on.
But it's
All right.
Hey Son.
Hey, son.
Hey, Cy.
All right, Dave. Get your
Okay.
grouchy old man on. Let's hear it.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the topic for this evening is Nextdoor. Now, for those of you that do not know what Nextdoor is, you can download an app. Now, originally, Nextdoor was designed so people in your immediate neighborhood or a couple of neighborhoods over, you could choose which one to do if you wanted to sell something. So let's say you had a shovel for sale, or you had some dirt for sale, or you had some bricks that you wanted to get rid of. You posted on.
What kind of neighborhood do you live in, Dave?
Well, we live in
Is
the
it you
rural area.
shoveling some bricks?
Yeah, we're in the ranch area, okay?
All right.
And or let's say people needed fertilizer. Hey, you got horses? Come and get whatever you want. Or do you need mesquite wood for your grill? We have 150 mesquite trees. Come and get the wood. You can have it. So anyways, or if you had a bicycle for sale or any type of wood, and that was the whole idea behind it. It was a social media platform that said, hey, I can go 5 minutes down the road, pay this guy some money, get the stuff, and away we get. Well, over time,
Yeah.
the app, as you know, and if those of you that do not have Nextdoor, you can download it. And it's actually, for those of us of a certain age, we remember that Saturday mornings were followed like this. Picture, if you will. Saturday morning, you had a bowl of cereal, and you were sitting in front of the TV, and it could be a console TV, or it could be one with the crazy rabbit ears, and you were watching cartoons, the best cartoons, back when violence was cartoons, and it was wonderful. Well, this has become, or you read the funny papers. Your dad would be reading the sports page or whatever, and he'd hand you and say, okay, here, read the funny papers. And you had Beetle Bailey, and you had Hager the Horrible, and all those fun ones. The Wizard of Id, Doonesbury, whatever they may be. Well, this has actually become the one thing that you can watch and laugh. And I'm just going to I'm going to read this one. We won't mention any names, but talking about those of you that like Big Bill Engvall, there's a thing that he always says about stupid people, and that's basically, here's your sign. So that's going to be followed by these things. So a friend and I went to Jerry Bob's. Now, Jerry Bob's is a diner here locally. I went to Jerry Bob's this morning, Sunday, up in Catalina. And my partner ordered a short stack of pancakes with blueberries, a side of bacon, and a cup of coffee. Her tab. Now let's stop right there. So he takes a friend to Jerry Bob's, okay, and says her tab.
Yeah.
So now I understand if there's nothing romantic, but dude, come on, be a gentleman. If you take a lady, or even if you take your friend for breakfast, pay for it. I mean, come on. So, but he says her tab was over $20. That seems that was pretty expensive. Okay, well, grumpy old man says, are you living under a rock? You can't get breakfast for anything under $20, even at McDonald's for the most part. So some of the responses are hilarious. Look at the menu online. Pancakes are $12. Add sides and a drink. Seems right. That's what the menu online is for. The OP says, yeah, but $12 for pancakes seem pricey. But if you get 12 pancakes, that's only $1 a pancake. Plus you got the syrup, plus you got the butter, plus you got everything else. Yeah, and yeah, so that's my first one. And there are some very, very nice places, responses to it. But come on. I mean, you're going out to breakfast, you're enjoying the company of the person. It's $20. And if you can't afford the $20, stay at home and eat cereal.
And who hasn't been to Jerry Bob's before? I mean, wouldn't you know what to expect in terms of price?
That would be my guess. But so anybody who has any Nextdoor things that they would like to share, please do so. But that was one of them. Oh, here's another one. And I live in a very rural area, and FYI, ladies and gentlemen, if you live in the Saddlebrook Ranch area or anywhere up north of Tucson, please make sure that you keep an eye on your animals at all time. There are coyotes and mountain lion and bobcats. I just thought people should know. here's your sign. You move to the desert. You know that there are things there. And if you're going to let Scruffy out at 1 o'clock in the morning and he gets snatched by an owl, that's really on you, dude. Go outside, sit there with your
Snatched
little...
by an owl?
Oh, yeah, the great horned owl. They sit 4.5 feet tall, and they have no sound on their wings. None.
What?
You will In fact, one night, Sharon walked outside and opened up the door, and and there was a great horned owl on her hood eating a rat.
Wow.
And when it ran away, yeah, it's just... Yeah, when it flew away, you couldn't hear it.
Wow. I've never seen such a thing.
Yeah. So, okay, Dave, your turn. I'll look for some more.
Well, I didn't. I didn't know the rules, so I didn't get any exact.
Well, I didn't either. I'm just scrolling through the app.
Oh, well, to your point about where you live, one of the things that comes up on ours on a almost weekly basis is, right in front of me is the San Francisco airport, right? Large international airport. And I'm surprised you can't hear the jets, but somehow in the wintertime, the way that the air is and stuff, it keeps the noise close to the ground, and it'll vibrate the windows in our house when the planes take off, right? That's just what it is. About once a week, people complain how noisy the planes are, and can't they restrict them at night so that they can get a good night's sleep? And the latest one this week was, and can't the city do something about this?
Here's your sign.
Here's your sign. You live next to an international airport, and boy, I can hear the planes. What are you going to do about it?
Well, Stephen, for the Air Force Base, I'll bet.
Yeah. Oh, no, we get lots of people complaining. Why do they have to fly the airplanes so low to the ground? Because they're landing?
Wait, so in Vegas? I'm sorry, I didn't want to give it away in case you're in,
Area 51. Protection. They don't land; they just hover.
But do they fly over the houses?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Our old house, they would fly over the house at about maybe 300-400 feet.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
When it's an F-16, it doesn't matter how much insulation or how far above you they are. It sounds like they're right on top of you. So,
but it's cool.
People would
wait. You mean the military base, not your civilian airport there?
No, Nellis Air Force Base.
Oh, because that's cool. Jet planes are cool.
Oh yeah.
If I could hear that.
We'd sit outside and watch the planes fly over. You could wave to the pilot.
Damn. You know what? That's the sound of freedom, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what
I always tell people freedom isn't free. It also isn't quiet.
And here's one from Rich. Deer crossing signs in the wrong places. Yeah, that is always, you have something like, is that, well, okay. That brings up, and I think I talked about this one time, our $5 million animal bridge that's right down the street here. I think I spoke about that on the last one, where they spent $5 million and funneled the animals over an overpass. And the animals were like, no, let's just go back the other way into people's neighborhoods. So, but here's another one that I think you'll like. To the dear lady jogging on the Mountain View Golf Course at 5:15 a.m. today, you may want to exercise a bit more caution and restraint in this activity, as a mountain lion has been active on the golf course and spotted on the hole you just crossed over from. You had nothing to protect yourself, and a mountain lion is a cat. Who knew? Cats love to chase. Just a word of caution to all morning joggers. Now, at front value, okay, I get that. Okay, but here's the one thing that I liked more than anything. This was one of the responses. Carry a very long walking stick, as it intimidates them from ever messing with you. To what the gentleman, the OP said, cats like to chase things. Now, how many people who have had cats shake a stick in front of the cat? What does the cat do? The cat attacks the stick. So,
followed by ripping your face out.
And what I love, and most, and I will say most of these folks are transplants. They're snowbirds. They don't understand what it's like to live here, but they said, but those guys only have so much to eat on the course that they are happy. I don't know if I've ever gone up to a mountain lion and said, are you happy? And they will only attack if they're sick. I need a wrong there, Dave.
Oh,
I need a
well,
wrong.
you know what? I'm in the chat thing.
Okay.
Here we go.
So wrong. Anyways, so those are some of the things that you see on Nextdoor,
Well,
and
because Steven mentioned he doesn't use Nextdoor, he uses like he's got a Facebook neighborhood thing, but I imagine it's the same because I
Mhm.
suspect that this was all set up and like you said to sell things locally or to talk about local politics and things like that. And it's when you get
Exactly.
into this like first of all, just posting funnies and stuff like that, I guess that's kind of nice and all that things. But then general questions like the one that I read that comes up fairly often too is about parking on the street in front of my house and what can I do about that? And it's
Oh
like
my.
because you'll get the whole like yeah, it's rude, but it's a public street. What do there? Oh, talk about there's a bobcat just flew by Steven there. Don't shake
It's
a
our
stick
kitten.
at it.
No. Shake my glasses. Yeah.
But I mean, it's stuff like that it's just like, what kind of answer do you want? Like somebody's gonna say, "Oh yeah, you can call up the police and they'll tow it because it's in front of your house." I mean, I don't know what these people are expecting you to
well,
get out of
and
this.
P Beats brings up a very good point. If you were really concerned about this lady, why would you put it on an app that she probably won't see while she's jogging? Okay, granted, I added that part, but why wouldn't you go out and yell, "Hey, lady, there's a mountain lion behind you"? Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the point. And the problem is everybody wants to put these things on apps and they don't, but yet, it's like one of those things where anybody who's worked in the corporate world that anybody that's worked in the corporate world that has team building. And let's say you're the supervisor, Steve, you know this, Dave, you know this, I know this, most everybody here knows this. And all of a sudden, a plethora, yes, I said plethora, of ideas will come bombing towards you. Hey, we should do this, we should do this, we should do this, and we should do this. And when you turn around and say, you know what, Stephen, that is a great idea. Why don't you go ahead and take the ball and run with it? All of a sudden, the sound of crickets is heard.
Oh yeah.
And it's the
Yeah.
same type of thing here. It's the same type
Yeah.
of thing here.
That's
And
what this is. The app basically becomes armchair quarterback. I know how to fix this thing, but I'm just going to sit here and tell everybody on the internet how to fix it. It's
right.
So
and I understand.
I'm curious,
Go ahead.
Stephen. What are the local complaints in Vegas? You said they complain about the Air Force Base, like, we're
Yeah.
not gonna fly between 10 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the morning or something. But
Well, we get a lot of the same. There's a car parked at the end of the cul-de-sac here or whatever that's been abandoned for 3 weeks, and somebody set fire to it. It's like, call the police. I still don't understand why people don't. They'll see the problem, they'll type about it on the internet, but nobody actually goes, hey, there's actually a solution to it. So.
And I've got to ask you this: has anybody on any of these apps said, you know what, Vegas is too bright? Could they shut those lights off? Please tell me that's happened.
There are people that say, how do you get it to not be so hot in your house? It's like, you turn the air on.
So here's one for you, Dave, from the lovely Pantea.
well, that's what I was just talking about. Yes.
Okay,
just
so you
covered
did. Okay, you did cover the
airplane
noise.
But what about visitors? Do you guys the locals have common complaints about the visitors?
Oh, sure. We get lots of, when's the midnight buffet? That type of the same sort of like touristy questions that, a lot of the employees at the hotels and the casinos and stuff will post things that are usually like, how did these people not get it through their day-to-day lives if they can't figure out how Vegas works? I mean, we have streets, we have sidewalks, there's water coming out of the fountains. People just don't. Where's the water? How do we get some water to drink? What? Go buy some. What's wrong with you people? No.
Well, and also, if you're in Vegas and you want a great breakfast, you need to go to the Omelet House. Period. End of story. Case closed.
No,
Good stuff.
It's absolutely true.
Good stuff. So here's another one. And yes, Dreamweaver, raccoons in the hood. Yes, we have raccoons. Believe it or not, we have raccoons in Arizona. A lot of them. And Major Rich brings up something that we can expand on, and this is a okay, maybe that was the wrong choice of words, but the most of the places in Nextdoor are looking for recommendations for lawn service plumbers, or like an Angie's List type thing, and that's great because people will give their opinions. But where it goes south is somebody will recommend, let's say, ABC Plumbing, and everybody goes, "Oh, they're great." You're going to get one person that's going to start a war because for some reason, because the guy was 5 minutes late, he is the worst plumber on the planet, and that's the part that drives me nut. It's just, I mean, so here's one for for somebody who's in Arizona. We have found scorpions and spiders in our beds. The photo is not even half the bugs we have found in our home. We have been only living in XYZ neighborhood for about a month. Can anyone help? Because we have traps everywhere, but nothing works. We do have a tendency to leave our doors open to let the cross breeze work.
Well, if you put the do not enter sign, I think they probably don't have that.
Exactly.
Common sense.
You have to be polite with them. Please stay out. Don't come in and live in our home. That's how you get rid of them.
So do not enter, please do not enter.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, and when and I don't know about you guys, or anybody else in the lounge tonight, but if I'm going to move to a place or go visit a place, I will do a little bit of research. Okay.
Yep.
Now, everything in Arizona either sticks, stings, or bites. That's pretty much Arizona.
And then you were like, let's live there.
Well, I didn't have a choice. I was born here, so you can blame my parents for that. But like the other day, somebody saw a Gila monster. For those of you folks that do not know what a Gila monster is, a Gila monster is a very bright, large monitor-style lizard. It's probably 2.5 to 3 feet sometimes when they're really big, and they're very bright orange or yellow and black. And scorpions do not like bourbon. Yes,
neither do I.
And neither do I. But they are very slow moving. They're very slow moving. They just kind of, hey, I'm cool. But they are extremely poisonous. And what they do is they clamp onto you like a vice grip. They don't let go, and they start gnawing on you, injecting the poison. Well, on Nextdoor the other day, somebody was trying to be a good Samaritan. And this Gila monster was walking across the road. Yes, that brings up the joke. How did the Gila monster cross the road? Well, he went and grabbed the Gila monster to help him across the road.
Oh.
Gila monster was not appreciative of that and bit him, and he spent 5 days in the hospital. 2 of those in ICU. So I don't. But and here's something that PB brought up that's good. Is that, is the app considered private? You have to join the app. And if somebody asked you for a plumber recommendation and you said you don't use it, that's a big issue on Nextdoor right now, is that most people will get on and defend the other company and say, listen, if you have a problem with this company, take it up with them. First Amendment is a very wide-ranging thing, so you can have your opinion of it. But what happens a lot of times, and I think Yelp is one of those as well, is that if somebody likes a business or has a friend of the business, they will literally, and I know that Yelp companies can go in and pay people to give bad reviews and good reviews. And so that's why this is unfortunately bad, because you could have a guy that had one bad, everybody has a bad day. I mean, everybody has a bad day. Yeah. And
this is one that was funny that I do remember, is that during the height of COVID, what Matt mentioned is them narking on it. I remember somebody posted that people were walking on the sidewalk in front of her house without masks on. She was at her door, afraid that she was going to get COVID from these people walking in front of her. Yeah.
Well, I can go one better. We had the same thing. Most of you that know where my barbershop's at, and somebody was walking their dog in front of this lady's house. It may have been the same lady. Maybe she moved to Missouri. But she was upset that the man didn't have a mask on, and literally stated in a complaint to the Homeowners Association, the dog should have had a mask.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Here's your sign.
That would have been cute. if you could get a dog mask with like teeth and stuff that look like the big smile.
Actually, they
Well,
have those.
yeah,
They have
yeah.
those. But that brings up a bigger thing, and I hate to say it because I think for those of us in the social forums and stuff like that, actually COVID did very good for us because it brought us together. It prompted us to become closer friends. But on the flip side of it, what it's done is it's made what I call the tattletale state. And literally in the city of Tucson, the chief of police has mandated, and there is an app now, that if you see somebody speeding or you see somebody doing something wrong that you would never even do, that you actually fill out a complete survey form with their license plate number and anything else, how fast they were going, and literally a police officer will go after that person.
So
Wow. So I
misdemeanor.
can download this app, and I've got your license plate, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Huh?
Ooh.
Right?
Yep.
Steven's with me on this. We can pick the Narc on Dave Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow.
You know that shave soap you wanted there, Stephen?
I don't know what you're
No,
talking
but-
about, Dave. I don't know anything about this license plate you've referenced.
Yeah, but I
That
mean
one's on you.
that's the type. But I guess it's we're picking on Nextdoor a little bit, but there are some good things on Nextdoor. One last one, we are in a very fire prone area, obviously, as is Stephen.
Yeah.
And
Wait, Vegas is dirt. What is there to burn in Vegas?
there is plants in Vegas.
In the Bellagio?
Yeah. It's already been. Well, Mandalay Bay was on fire once. Come on.
What? You mean, wait, the water?
Yeah, the
No.
water was on fire.
Water out front.
No,
I've
the
been
whole
there.
front face of it, up near where the Mandalay Bay, the words on the side of the building, that was on fire. Hey, you haven't heard of the when Bally's caught fire back in the early '80s?
I'm not that old.
Well, and there are golf courses, and there are plants. I mean, they might be desert type plants, but desert plants burn very hot, very
yeah.
hot. And when a wildfire starts in that type of location, as here, that thing can move at 60 miles an hour. They don't mess around. But here's the final one on Nextdoor. Once again, in a community, you do not own what's 10 feet behind your house. The property is owned by whether it be the state or whether it be the homeowners association.
Right.
So 2 weeks prior, everybody was complaining that, hey, this is a fire hazard. They need to come in and they need to clean it out. So the homeowners association, being prudent, not wanting to be sued, cleared out a 7-foot section behind each and everybody's house. Guess what happened? They didn't want it behind their house. You're ruining the desert for us.
Right.
So.
I'd like it natural back there, but I'd like it fire safe natural.
Yes. That exactly.
That's the logic. Yeah.
And I know that this is happening across all social media platforms. It's not just Nextdoor, but it's sad that when you see the design behind Nextdoor was very, very positive in the beginning. And I guess you could argue, you could say that with every single one of the social media platforms that are out there. So Dave, that's a good segue. Hit it. Now it's time for your old man.
Well, and that was it. Is that all of social media and people using it to complain about things and get frustrated about things. And yeah, I got in trouble with my wife at dinner last night because I was telling her, because it's Dave's fault, really, because, he wanted to bring up this show. And so I had to start reading Nextdoor to see what was going on there.
You did that at the dinner table?
No,
Penteja,
no.
that is not my fault.
No. But what I did do is share some of the comments that I made in response to some of these people, because it's just like on some of the shaving forums and stuff that it's the back and forth and poking at each other, and you lay up an easy ball and somebody's got to hit it out of the park with the comment or something, and these people just lay up these easy pitches, and sometimes just for your own entertainment, you got to take a swing.
Well, and the three biggest ones on our forum happen to be sitting across from me on the screen. We stand at the plate just waiting for that pitch. Let's just get that pitch.
Just waiting for the chance to say, I don't know anybody you're referring to, sir. I'm not even sure.
So let's turn it over to the barflies for a minute. So you guys share your stories of things and this is from PB. It reminds me of the old Foster Brooks line that he was having an affair with Don Rickles' wife, Mrs. Pickles, because he answered a want in the paper. That's good. I like that one. So it also must be said, and this is non-related to that Mr. Nurse Dave eats better than a human should be allowed to eat.
Oh, it's true.
That bougie, because every time he posts about the Persian food, he teases us. Yesterday was a big tease. It was a big tease because he showed the roasted corn on the. Oh,
that was just for you, Dave.
Yeah. I figured it was, but man.
Yeah, we went over to we went to the in-laws, and they did. I showed on the forums that I made the kebabs, the ground beef one. So they did that, but they also had filet mignon kebabs. They had lamb chops. They did corn right on the coals, and they put that in salt water, and it was a feast. It was delicious.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We need a new thread on the cadre. Nurse Dave's recipes.
Well, he did he did a very good visual recipe for the kebab, so I will say that.
That's true.
Now I've just got to go on Amazon and buy what I call the swords of meat.
Yeah.
The swords of meat. Yes, gilded arteries.
Yeah. So what's going on, Stephen? How's you've been moving and getting stuff in place? And what I want to know about is, you are one of the most luckiest guys in the world, because your wife is going to allow you to build a bar in your house, and help design it.
Yes.
So how is that shaping up?
Well, the old house had a bar in it, which was kind of a nice little feature. It was in the center of the house. At one point, it went up to like the full second story, so that it was open and really nice. And I had a nice bar counter and stuff, and we really never got finished decorating all the walls and stuff. I was kind of putting stuff up as I went. But this area, we've actually, the new house has, the kitchen's kind of wonky. I don't know, it feels like it's turned sideways. So we're going to open it back up, and where the formal dining room was, which we don't have a formal dining room, we just have a dining room. But this other room over here that's like a formal dining room, we're going to turn it into a bar. So the kitchen's going to extend into this, what used to be a formal dining room, into the bar area, and we're going to set it up with a nice little counter. And I was posting the other day that I'd asked about. I love sports. I sit and watch the baseball game, which I'm not watching at the moment because we're doing this. Got to have my Dodgers.
San Francisco.
Appreciate the time.
Orange and black. Orange and black. Hey, you know what, Stephen, though? But look at your shirt. It's kind of an orange and black T-shirt. Did you notice that? Dave?
Subtle so-and-sos.
Rich wants to know if it's going to be Dodger themed, your bar.
Yes, it is. It will be gray, Dodger blue with a little hint of red, so it's got the Dodger colors. Yes, it will be. But I wanted to put in I thought it'd be kind of cool to have like a locker room, like a locker setup. And I thought it'd be, neat to have your jerseys actually hanging in there, a hat, maybe, you throw your sunflower seeds in there. I come home at night and I take off my dress shirt, like I'm sure you guys do when you get done. Well, maybe not, Barber Dave, because he's dressed up as a barber. I don't know. What do you wear underneath the barber?
What the hell? You made me think he's like dressed up like a naughty nurse or something.
There's something we need to discuss.
Whoa!
No, I wear a collared shirt, a collared button-down shirt. You've seen it because when I post for the Hawaiian things, and then just slacks or jeans and stuff like that. But I do have a barber smock because there's nothing worse than getting other people's hair all over your clothing.
Exactly. And then we got bougie Dave with his French cuffs and his which is actually spectacular, by the way. I wish I could wear my French cuffs. I miss those. I have mine, but I just can't. It's too hot.
The
It's just too hot.
memories of when I was working in corporate world, ties and
Yeah.
French cuffs, and
No
and by the
ties.
way, Stephen, with all due respect, things are looking bad for you because if you notice, a certain individual is kind of talking to you right now.
Oh, I haven't seen it. What happened?
Oh, just look at the screen,
Ah,
traitor.
is there a Giants fan actually living in San Francisco? I didn't know they existed.
Oh, do you know? Do you know Panteja? Do you really?
No,
You
I've
know
not
what?
met her.
But he's perfectly happy with taking any other sports teams they can out of the Bay Area.
Oh yeah.
Oh, ouch. Ouch. Ow, that hurt. Man, shots fired.
So, Rich, I
Are we
think
getting
it's
the Golden
okay
State
if
Warriors?
it's
Have you heard something?
115. You can wear booty shorts in the shop. Right.
Wow. Rich had to go there.
So when
okay.
does the construction on all this start, Stephen?
I'm sorry.
When does the construction on all this start? This bar area.
We've been talking to the guy that does again somebody on the local Facebook page. It's a local neighborhood Facebook page here for our neighborhood, and he posts great photos. No, Giant suck. He posts great photos of all of the work that he does in this area, and he mainly works in this area. Does remodels of kitchens and bathrooms and stuff like that. And so we've contacted him. We're supposed to meet with him later this week. It's just trying to coordinate schedules with him and stuff. And he's going to come in. He's going to look and see, how we can get started. What ideas he's got for us. Because he's obviously been doing this longer than I have. I've drawn stuff, but I've never actually, gone through the construction process of remodeling. So it's kind of a new thing for me.
Okay, Stephen, we're gonna do a quick segue. This is from one of our. Oops, wrong one. That one we didn't want. So this is from Dreamweaver, and you live in Vegas, and this is something that has gone viral on social media. What's up with the alien that they saw in Vegas? Because some of the people that were talking about it were pretty regular old people. They weren't the whack jobs. So what happened? Tell us from a local man on the street.
Okay. What we didn't hear was we heard it. You guys didn't hear it. It turns out those people were making it up.
What?
And when it went viral and became like an international thing, they panicked and got lawyers and stopped answering their front door and talking to the media and the police and everybody. And now the Metro, the police department here in town, is charging them with fraud. So
now, but how did they manufacture that on who did the pictures? Because you could clearly see there was some kind of weird alien thing walking around.
That part is still not there because they stopped talking to everybody. We're not sure if it's something that they found on their camera and thought, "Hey, what's this?" And then they started talking about it, and then the story got too out of control, and they just panicked and stopped
but they
talking.
They did finally admit that they made it all up.
Yeah, apparently their neighbors. They've been talking to their neighbors, and their neighbors are the ones that are now saying they're telling us that they made it all up. So. Wow. It's typical Vegas crazy story. We get every once in a while we get something that just what the hell.
PB just said that Wayne Newton isn't an alien. I would say that's probably true, but who were the Tiger guys? Siegfried and Roy. They were aliens. I'm sorry, they were aliens.
Yeah, those guys didn't age over like 50 years, huh?
No, we love to call them Siegfried or Sigmund and Freud, but that's a whole nother.
Did you ever see them?
I never saw their show. I saw them out on the Strip one time. They were getting some award or something, and it was amazing. We're standing there and we realized there's a tiger, not attached to anything safe, just standing next to this guy, and it could just jump. It literally could have just attacked any one of us, and nobody would have been able to stop it.
Which it did eventually.
Eventually, it did. Yes. So,
well, Steve, now that you were
the guy that handled it.
you were nice enough to join us today on the show. So tell us a little bit of something that, and I'm sorry, I'm excited about this. Formula One, it's coming to Vegas. Tell us a little bit.
Yes, it is. We're going to have the Las Vegas Grand Prix. It'll be every November for 10 years. The contract signed for 10 years, but they're building they bought a plot of land behind the strip, and they're building a full paddock and stands and everything. And they're actually putting the headquarters, I've been told, is moving from Monaco, which is like, if you could have your, if the hombres barbershop could be in Monaco. Yeah. You'd want to be there.
Can you imagine the employees of F1 right now? We're going to go where?
Exactly.
You see the Mediterranean right here? You see this? Why are we leaving?
And I imagine there's probably a beach right below their headquarters that has like topless ladies, and just you can walk out and just enjoy the sand and enjoy the surf. Now they're going to be in Vegas. But
they'll get 1 out of 3. They'll get to enjoy the sand.
Well,
exactly.
Topless ladies.
So now,
if you go to the right pool. That's true.
You were telling me that the main straightaway is going to be right down the middle of the strip, correct?
Yeah, they're going to go right past. They're going to go past the Bellagio and the fountains and everything, and they're actually building an entire set of stands right where the fountain is at Bellagio. People who are paying like hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, it comes with a room, obviously, for the length of the Grand Prix, but it also comes with like the chef, like all the specialty celebrity chefs and stuff are going to be cooking these people food, and prices on that stuff is like $800,000 to watch a race, but you're going to be getting all this other specialty stuff.
Yeah,
so
you know what? I don't remember where I mentioned it, but my dad and I used to watch kart racing, kind of Indy car racing, when they were up in Oregon, and it was affordable, and you could get right up to the track, basically.
Yes.
And then it was in San Jose here once, Indy racing, I think just once maybe, because the track was a little rough because of the streets. And so I went and looked because I thought this would be cool. Let's go watch this. First of all, you have to buy tickets for all 3 days. You can't get them for just one day. And I don't. Maybe you know the price. If I recall right, it was in the thousands, the cheapest tickets that you could get to this thing.
Yeah, I signed up for the email when they first announced it because I thought, oh, this would be great. I'll be able to get, some bleachers somewhere on a corner, maybe on Sands Road near the convention center. I won't be anywhere fancy or anything. And they sent me a thing that said, oh yeah, tickets are available, $2,800. And I'm like, okay, wait a second, huh? Where am I sitting? And you're sitting nowhere.
And I would imagine that any forward facing at any of the hotels on the strip, any of those hotel rooms have got to be stupidly expensive.
Oh yeah,
if you can get them,
$5,000-$6,000 a night, and you have to get the whole week.
Okay.
Because they're talking about doing like a fan fest in the days before, and then it'll party all the way through the week. So
here's the nice thing: I'm going to have the best view because I will be watching it on TV. Now it is a night race, correct? It's a night race, isn't it?
Yeah, and
that's going to be cool.
The new Sphere, they're talking about, and I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do it, but they want to actually project the race. The broadcast on the Sphere. So at some point, and you guys have like cameras that are like right above their heads while they're going 200 miles an hour down the street. There's a possibility that a guy will be driving down the street and the camera will look over his head and he'll be able to see himself on the Sphere going 200 miles an hour towards the Sphere.
Steven,
I don't know how that'll...
I have a way for you to make yourself famous. Okay, so if you can con F1 into having that camera on their head as the guy is reaching out and grabbing one of those advertisements that you get thrown in your face when you're on the strip. First off, I want to welcome Spider. Spider's joining us for the first time. We welcome you. And what we're talking about tonight, Spider, we've kind of gone way off the rails, but we were talking about Nextdoor and social media and how it's gone off the line. And then we invited Steven in, and we're finding out all about the Formula One race. So welcome, Spider. We appreciate you being here.
Cheers, KJ.
That sounds like it's going to be amazing. I mean, it really, really does.
So now, see, well, maybe you guys are. I guess locals will stay clear of the strip most of the time anyway. But I mean, I can just imagine if you happen to be going to Vegas that weekend, not for the race, you're just visiting Vegas. That screws up everything.
Oh yeah.
It's not just that weekend. They've actually F1 is currently repaving the track. They tore up the roads and they did it in segments all the way around the track to kind of set up the base for the actual racing surface. And now that they've finished that, they're now doing the actual racing surface. And one of the parts of the racing surface is right next to the sphere. Oh. So there's always people showing up to take pictures and do TikTok videos and stuff in front of the sphere, and the road is being torn up. So it's a mess right now, but it'll be better. And you know, everyone's excited because once the surfacing is done, we'll be able to drive on a piece of road that, you know, $1 million cars are going to drive on. Because those F1 cars cost $1 million. Yeah, they're ridiculously priced.
That's pretty cool. So P-Beat says that wouldn't it be nice to see Nurse Dave shaving on the sphere? Okay, I want to put a picture. Well, I want to put a picture in everybody's heads. Okay, do you want to see a 7-story Nurse Dave shaving? I think it would be better to have the show. No, let's have the Drinks and Dave show live from F1. That would be.
Oh, can we write that off?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I just said
we're there. We're going to get to Bellagio.
Yeah, I just sent an email to F1 and they responded surprisingly quick and they said, "Who?"
No.
Yeah. Well, they're French, so it was probably, you know, something French.
Well, yeah. Voulez-vous, yeah.
Whatever is in French. Yeah. Well, we were in Vegas. It just happened to be the weekend that they were doing some kind of actual foot running race on the strip just for one day, and blocking it off for that. We happened to be, I think we were staying at the Wynn or close to there, and we happened to be down at like M&M World, that area. And, you know, you couldn't get an Uber or anything because they couldn't get around, and we ended up doing that our own, you know, the march from one end of the strip to the other. And yeah.
So here's a question for you, Steve. Are these cars going to be EV? I don't think they've gone that route yet. There is a Formula One division that's EV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they've talked about it, and I mean, it's weird to follow it because it's coming, not because we're I watch it on television. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I watch NASCAR, so I understand circles and ovals, but when guys are going around the corners and stuff, it's like, where are they? You lose track of, you know, where the finish line is. But I've heard that there's going to be EVs, but I don't know if that's part of this program.
Well, usually with the F1, especially leading up to the Grand Prix, they usually have 2 or 3 races, kind of like NASCAR. You know, you have different divisional races leading up to it because what they figure is the lower divisions can test a lot better, because I'm sure there's going to be a ton of testing by all the guys there, probably as early as, because it's November, probably as early as late September. They're probably going to start testing, I would imagine. Yeah,
testing and qualifying and all that other stuff's fun to watch. But yeah, it's going to be a while to see how this is going to work. Vegas is really good. We close down the strip all the time for the New Year's Eve. They usually start that, you know, in like noon on New Year's Eve. So closing down the strip, which is, I mean, you'd think a street like that you can't close, but they do it all the time, and it's never a problem. They just make announcements, and everyone deals with it.
So basically what they're going to be doing based on all that is they will be closing down the strip from probably late October through February, basically.
Luckily, I never have to go on the strip ever.
Well, it's funny you mention that because our niece, mine and my wife's niece, lives in Henderson, and the only time they go to the strip is when there's people that are visiting. That's it. Most of the time, the locals do not go down there.
So that
Well,
segment,
and-
now that we're into Vegas hour, I'm curious from Steven, because you probably, so I follow some Vegas folks and they do like the 2-minute, here's the best steak off the strip, or here's this dessert. And I keep thinking, I ought to send you these things, but locals probably already know all about that stuff. So my question is,
Yeah.
all right, well, I'll send you some when I find these amazing, because they've got like the Hidden Magician show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'd love to.
I want to quickly thank Steven for clarifying that for everybody, that the F1 cars are hybrids and the Formula E cars are a separate deal.
Yeah.
So that's good to know.
Wait, there's a
F1 cars
Steven?
are hybrids. I didn't
Yes.
even know that. Wow.
I didn't know there was a Steven Sprecher.
That's my pops.
My
Pops.
If you haven't been
Good
watching
name.
the thread, there are there's German Spreckers and apparently there is Swiss Spreckers, but we
Swiss
won't go
Sprecher.
into that because that caused a whole dust up on the forum about farm animals. But we're not going to go
Hey.
there.
So,
I missed
Steven,
it all. It was at work.
Steven, the question is, for visitors coming that
Mhm.
haven't been to Vegas or don't come often, what would be the most amazing things that they should do? Like the best place to eat, the best show.
Omelet House.
But
Sorry.
we got breakfast covered. I
Okay.
think we all agree on omelet house.
Wow. Every casino has its own celebrity chef, at least on the strip now. So those are all pretty much covered. You're going to spend, top dollars for that. Hugo's Cellar is a very, very good steakhouse.
Yeah, we ate there during the TSC con.
Yep. And I've been meaning to take the wife for an anniversary. It's the problem is she knows how much it costs there, so she would immediately see that I was taking her there and go, no, we're not going to eat here. I'm not
What's it
spending
called?
$80 on a steak. What's that?
What's it called?
Hugo's Steakhouse. It's at
Where
the
is
Four
that?
Queens.
It's at the Four Queens. Yeah, it's it's in the basement there.
Yeah, and it's the really nice thing is if you're in town and you're doing something special and you're taking your wife or your girlfriend or somebody you don't want anybody to know about.
Hey now, hey now.
It's Vegas. Hey, it's
Rich,
Vegas.
yeah.
It's Vegas.
Yeah.
All the ladies get a long stem red rose. That's kind of a nice little treat that they give them. And then the guy gets handed the bill for an $85 strip steak, and you go, what?
Whoever went there for $85, I need to talk to them because that's not what we paid.
No.
So,
Wow.
here is another place, and you may know this. This is anybody can go here. It's cheap, it's inexpensive, but they have the best street
White
tacos.
Castle.
I think the best street. It's called Baja Mar. Baja
Yes.
Mar. It's right across. It's not in the best part of town. In fact, when you knock on the door, they have to hit a button to let you in. It's right
next to the you can shoot machine guns here kind of.
No,
place?
it's right. It's right where the transition from the strip to the old part of the city is. So it's right across the street from the Stratosphere, and it's across from Dino's Liquors. But I'll tell you what, our coldest beer and the best octopus tacos on the planet. Oh,
Yeah,
so good.
Dino's Liquor has been there forever. I can't remember a time that I've driven past there that Dino's Liquors isn't there. The town's got lots of little places like that. The Golden Steer is really famous. It's off just off the strip. The Rat Pack all have eaten there. In fact, if you want, you can actually request Frank Sinatra's table or Dean's table or Sammy's table.
Here's an interesting trivia question about the Rat Pack. Did you know that Dean Martin was a teetotaler? He did not drink.
Yep.
He never drank. Everything that he had on stage was either iced tea, ginger ale, or something like that. He never drank. And when you watch the Dean Martin special and he was acting drunk, he took his lessons from Foster Brooks. And there's I think his daughter still lives in Vegas, and she did a memoir about him. and said that he was home for, even during the Rat Pack days, he would be home for dinner with the family every single night. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Okay, in answer to P Beat's question, I have been to Biscuits and Bourbon, the one in Henderson on Water Street, and it is excellent. The food is great, and it has biscuits and it has bourbon. And
Thank God we had you here, Stephen, to clear that up.
Okay, we need to come up with something with an S for food. Seafood and scotch. Or
seafood,
yeah, we need something for that.
bacon and beer.
No, not scurvy.
Oh, and by the way, that was a nice beer place that you took us to that one night.
Yes, the Huddle Brewing. No, we went to Soul Belly, the barbecue
Yes.
place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's become a really kind of cool place. Anybody visiting Vegas, if you want to, the Strip is one thing, but downtown is a little bit. It's more of an old style Vegas. It's not as upscale. It's not as fancy, but you're going to get more value for your dollar. Your food's going to be more authentic. You're not going to pay through the nose. Hugo's being the exception to the rule, but Hugo's is a special place. Near downtown is the Brewery District, which is our new kind of cool place. Every night it's all lit up, and there's lots of people walking around and stuff. The way you can tell is that I'm sorry, I'm getting all kinds of notes at the bottom that I wasn't paying attention to before, and suddenly I'm seeing them. It's like
Okay, we will go slower for you.
it's the attention deficit thing. I'm like, what's this?
Squirrel.
Squirrel, exactly. The advantage of the Brewery District is it's kind of new and it's kind of cool, and we're starting to get food in there, and that was the nice thing, was to be able to take everybody down there that night and kind of show the beer and the barbecue and stuff. And we've got a couple of places now that are opening back up. There's a new Mexican place that's going to be opening right near the old Mexican place. The old Mexican place has been there since like the 70s, and Casa Don Juan, if anybody's down in that area and you want to go,
Vegas can't do Mexican food. Come on.
I didn't know if you had tobacco in your mouth or you were
No, a fly flew in. No, I'm kidding. Steve knows that him and I go back and forth when it comes to Mexican food.
Yeah, you guys in Arizona with your Sonoran and whatever that is.
That's right, Sonoran Mexican food, the best.
No, this thing PB mentioned sounds pretty amazing.
Actually, and I like watermelon pure, just watermelon. A certain individual that I know likes to put, I like it straight. A certain individual I know likes to put salt on it. But this, I would be willing to talk. And then actually, there's somebody in our audience tonight, in one of our barflies, that is an expert in hot sauce and everything hot. Yeah. So we will probably have him as a guest somewhere down the road to talk to us about that.
That is an excellent idea.
Yes. So Spider, get ready.
Hopefully he sends you samples.
Title it "Burning Your Rectum." That'll be the name of the show.
Yes, next on next door, Burning Your Rectum. Shrimp and scotch. Bowtie wins it. There it is. Shrimp and scotch.
Shrimp and scotch.
And I'm 5'7", so I qualify.
You're shrimp and I'm scotch. We could be a detective team. Shrimp and scotch. Awesome.
That would be perfect. That would be absolutely perfect.
We have to quit our jobs so we have time to edit all this stuff.
That's true.
Yeah. And plus we're kind of old, so
I think see, where else but Drinks and Dave's can you get a complete socioeconomic show in one single show? We talk about social media, we talk about the goods, the bads, we talk about Persian food, we talk about Las Vegas and everything that you get in Las Vegas. We can talk racing. See, this is a one-stop show.
Exactly.
We do it all. All.
Stop. So, Dave time.
If you do the Dave, you'll get 20 more followers.
Really? I just got to find those pants that have the crotch that's down to the knees. I mean, and another reminder while we're at it, we have a contest going. Now, hold on. I got to get this so I don't pull the pin out of the.
What is with PB in this?
It's this. People can win this.
Well, yes. So, but this has got the color. Okay, so Steven is showing what you can get. So everybody that's in the lounge tonight, and we lost somebody. So whoever left, come back. But if you can get us 5 subscribers on Drinks and Daves, 5 subscribers on Drinks and Daves, you get your choice of color for the Drinks and Daves official T-shirt with the Barfly stuff on the back. Whoops. And if you get us 10, we will throw in a coffee mug as well.
That's been used by Dave.
One of the Daves.
They will also come to your house and give you a lap dance.
Okay, maybe he will.
Okay. So, all right, Steven, this biscuits and bourbon? You went to one in Henderson. Is there one in Las Vegas?
I'm not sure if there's another location. I haven't seen. I can Google it, but
have a hard on for this place, though. I mean,
and by the way, the cobbler that he listed down there, we had, and it's wow.
Well, I guess I know where I'm going to be going.
So Dave, next time we're in Vegas, we take off the glucose monitors and we head to this biscuit.
You know what? Here's what we do. We do it as a live show, and we rip the glucose monitors off and throw them in the Bellagio pond.
Yeah. Or we can watch the graph go up as we eat these biscuits.
Exactly. It should be like a live thing of it going up, and then like the klaxon alarms go off as you guys like fall over.
Oh, and if you want to know what that alarm sounds like, give me a minute. We can actually make that sound.
So it sounds like it's just in Henderson. Yes. How far is Henderson away?
It didn't.
Henderson's about 25 minutes drive. It's still part of the same valley. I was just going to buy one to wear to the next day. What, as the only thing you'll wear? What are you Rich?
Well, it's better that's more than what he wore at the last one. So.
No, the one in Henderson.
And knowing that was the only thing he wore.
Yeah.
Well, then,
Hey, and Steven's in the same bed, or was this weekend. So.
Oh, God.
Enjoy that thought, Steven.
I think I was on your side.
For those of you that are just joining us, Steven was in Vegas doing a staycation and stayed in the room that Nurse Dave and Major Rich stayed in during our conference.
Man, that's like 6 degrees of separation, but there's only one.
Yeah, but the problem is there were people that were next door to you that had to listen to all that.
We did have to climb underneath the police tape every time.
Right. Well, and there's probably not as good a selection of bourbon and cigars next door.
So for those of you that are not members of the cadre, you need to join because our next con is going to be in 2024. Now, we're not telling where yet, but fun will abound.
Well, that's why I was asking when Steven's going to get his bar done. I figure we're all going to.
Oh, yeah, he's going to. Yeah, I can see Michelle inviting us to his house. Yeah, okay, right.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. It can't be in the summertime because it's like 175 degrees there.
I'll go for the summer. We're good at it. Yeah,
yeah, Dave and I will be the only ones. Everybody else is like, it's so hot here.
So wait a minute. Rich just mentioned something that's interesting. Kevin Bacon stayed in that room. Is that is that a code? Because I'm wondering if that was a code between Dave and Rich.
No, that's the how many degrees to Kevin Bacon.
Oh,
okay. Right. That's what I was referring to. All right.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to tell that story again.
No, you don't.
We'll save that for some other time. Oh my God.
Hey, we broke a record tonight so far. We have 12 people in the lounge.
Boom.
Hey.
We're getting there. So remember, please subscribe. Put up the
Is
banner.
That enough
Dave.
for a football
Put up
team?
the banner. Put up the banner.
No, we got a baseball team.
Be careful. There's somebody in here that can get triggered because if you try to steal that baseball team, this show could be over in seconds.
What happened to my Wi-Fi?
What?
All righty.
Wait a
Dave,
minute.
are we on our way out?
Wait, well, I got to see this.
He's talking about your crotch.
Okay, I
Dave,
can't post
Dave,
that.
From now on, I will not be mean to the Giants in deference to your wife. If she loves them,
So that means
I'll be
we
nice.
can wear orange and black now? Wow.
Fine.
Did you stop? Did you stop
No.
because of Steven's
No, but I
frustrations?
was trying to be nice.
All righty.
So, just a quick reminder, ladies and gentlemen, our next show, we're taking a little bit of a hiatus, as
hell did he just say?
as Nurse Dave and his family go globetrotting. So our next show will be the 7th of August at 6 p.m. We're not quite sure what the subject matter will be, but as you can see by our shows,
It really
it starts
doesn't
out
matter. Yeah.
it starts out a certain way, and we get to a point where it just doesn't matter. First and foremost, I'd like to thank my partner Dave, the Dave that you wish you were here, the old Dave, and very much we'd like to thank our barflies. Get your merchandise, get your barfly shirts, or more importantly, win your barfly shirts, because once we do get to 100 subscribers, you guys won't have to watch it on our shaving channels. You'll be able to watch it right on the Drinks and Dave's YouTube channel. So please make sure you do that. And then also, so subscribe, tell your friends. We have a lot of fun. And if you have suggestions on content, please email us at Dave. You'll put that up, won't you? Yes, please email us so we can get that up there. And we will have this posted as a video down the road. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody. And Stephen, thank you so much for being our guest here. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dave. That's the other Dave. And this has been Drinks and Daves. Hope everybody has a wonderful evening.
Bye.
Good night.